Hello, YouTube viewer. Welcome to my channel. This is Your Chosen, or You Are Chosen, whichever you prefer. So, let's get right into it. Shakana Joe. Well, if you're unaware of who she is, Shakana Joe is the internet personality influencer. So Shakana Joe gets on Instagram Live, and within that Instagram Live video, she is ranting to Mama D that they have blackballed her in episodes on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Not only have they blackballed her on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, but she speculates that T.I. and Tinyharris have everything to do with the blackballing. Shakana Joe was introduced on the reality TV show tinyharris Hustle Family back in 2011, which had 6 seasons. Now, according to her on the Instagram Live, she said that they kicked her off the show, and the excuse was she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know how to act with the money that was given to her. Okay. Now we're going to get to my commentary with Shakana Joe. Shakana Joe saying that statement it's just trying to get sympathy from the viewer. And I say that to say this: when the show first aired, after it aired, there was some controversy between tinyharris and Shakana Joe herself. Now, it had nothing to do, I don't think, with financial reasons. She was actually bashing tinyharris a lot. And I don't recall Tiny ever saying anything back to those allegations and those things towards her. Or if she did, it was never directed to Shakana Joe. So I did notice Shakana Joe did get back on the show later on, but maybe they reconciled their differences. She doesn't talk about that either, though. I wonder why. So while she's ranting about the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta on IG Live with Mama D, I don't know if anyone noticed that Mama D, who is very outspoken and she speaks her mind, she's kind of quiet and centered. Now, this could have went in so many different ways. Maybe it was a toss-up. It was a vote. Who knows? She doesn't know. Maybe they voted to kick her off of the island of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And not only did the producers probably have a vote in, but so did the cast members. And you're ranting to Mama D as if Mama D probably didn't vote you out as well. Mama D is not going to lose any money. I mean, we got to understand the role that Mama D plays in Love and Hip Hop. Her son is a huge legend in that era. Okay? So, and he's from Atlanta. So people say, well, Shakana Joe has nothing to do with the Love and Hip Hop. And I agree, even Carly Red has had music put out. Very bad music, but nonetheless, she did some producing with Stevie J. So there was some, work being done there. She has also dated artists that was in the industry. Old and new. Not my business, but again, she had something to do with the industry. Now, Shakana Joe adds on the IG Live that she has never effed anyone in the industry to get where she's at. And that's good. That's great. I don't think that the producers of that show were expecting her to do that, but I think they were expecting so much more. And I noticed that Shakana Joe, her business and her storyline for the show was within other people's relationships within the show and other people who are in relation to Love of Hip Hop. She was just there. So it wouldn't surprise me if there was a vote within everybody, and they said no, she has nothing to do with hip hop other than, guess what? T.I. and Tinyharris. Now, Tinyharris, if you're unfamiliar with her, she was in the group Escape. T.I. is also a rapper. So anything that bad happens, I noticed that Shakana Joe always associates She always puts herself and says they have everything to do with the downfall of her career. And it has nothing to do with maybe her mouth. We all know Shakana is very outspoken. She speaks what she feels and she thinks, and she doesn't hold back. And maybe that can be could have been a downfall for her. There's no telling. It could have been many factors, including that and I also noticed that too. Sorry, excuse me. She always takes it back to these two individuals. Now, I'm sorry, and I have to say this, but you are a small fry in comparison to them. Because these are legendary people that are still doing music to this day, and they have something to do with hip hop. And maybe she's just dangling and reminding the viewers and reminding the people who are forgotten that she came up because of them, yet she doesn't want to be in the shadow. So I'm kind of confused with that whole situation. Either you want to be known for doing hair and known for working with these artists that put you on, or you don't. But when you think of Shakana Joe, you always going to think of these two individuals, because they're the ones that we are aware of how she started. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a stepping stone. And for whatever reason, she associates doing hair as being a quote unquote the help. And that's not a degrading job. It's a job nonetheless. It's a good paying job. You doing hair for celebrities, other than her, I haven't heard anyone take it as if it's a low standard position. Maybe for her, maybe because she doesn't want, like I said, doesn't want to be in the shadow of another, famous, actress. But I think she needs to stop. If she wants to become her own person, that's beautiful, that's wonderful. But do not keep dangling these two people that got grandkids, they got children, or a child, I would say, that's still in his a young adult stage that needs some counseling and needs some viewing and help in life. So, and they have grandkids, they have new nieces and nephews. I am sure that Shakana Joe is the last thing on their mind. Well, guys, thank you for listening to my little commentary. Drop your comments below, turn your post notifications if you want to. And let me know your thoughts, to this Shakana being quote unquote blackballed. Do you think, this lady is a funeral director. She has so many other accolades on her belt. I don't think that this Love and Hip Hop Atlanta show will take anything away from her success. Nonetheless, I hope she finds herself outside of these two artists, because she is her own individual. And yeah, later guys, take care.